was just speaking about regulation. Well, there was a new foreign buyers tax put in British Columbia. The British Columbia market peaked in the March-April period. It has been going downhill in terms of price and volumes ever since. The government put this in at the end of July, and the impact was immediate. Ozzie Jurock joins me on the line right now to get the latest update on the impact of the foreign buyers tax. Ozzie, let's just start with that. What are the numbers?
Well, the report the BC government put out that some 140 property transferred, about $115 million worth sold in October. But that also meant and they claim that it's up from, it's about a 3% rate of sales. That's up from 1.8% in September, but it's actually down 13.2% that we've seen before the property tax came in. So it had quite some impact.
It is interesting, though, as in we were warning on that right from the get-go, is that governments can't fine-tune the economy. This is a myth that has been repudiated every day relentlessly. And I keep on asking the question, if governments could control the economy the way politicians and big government advocates pretend, you wouldn't have the situation in Europe. You wouldn't have the kind of flatlining growth we've had in the country, basically the 1.5% kind of growth right around the world. And here's the latest example. It's not like they had a dial they could fine-tune this one, because I know that the finance ministry warned against it, but it looks like it went through anyways, and it was worse than they thought.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing, because the position of the BC government was before that they weren't going to bring it in. The finance department says you're going to lose 4,000 jobs. You will lose 1,400 home sales. Your GDP might drop by $350 billion, but they brought it in anyways. And now, when you look at the facts, the sales have been much worse. They've plunged by 2,200 units, a loss of more $2 billion. And like that, just until the end of October. For November, we lost some 37% in sales. That's 1,300 units. And on the single-family home side, we lost 50% of the sales over last November. We had 650 versus 1,300. So the point is, it had a fairly dramatic impact.
Did anything in that report surprise you?
Yeah, actually, I read these things carefully, and there is sort of a comment on Victoria. It says the capital district, where the additional property transfer tax does not apply, saw about 6.3% of the deals, 55 out of 879, representing 10% of the value of all transactions. And then it finished by saying government continues to monitor this data closely. Now, what do you think that means, Mike?
Yes, absolutely. But here's the thing, Ozzie. Let me just back up for a sec here. It tells people who are already owning some property, investment-style property, they're probably nervous. I mean, they've been hurt in Vancouver by this tax, and then they see, even talk of it being expanded here. That may discourage other buyers. It may be a compounding effect, not just foreign buyers, but also local ones going, no, I don't want any more government regulation, because it's been pretty relentless over the last, 6 months and arguably 4 years. And finally, it looks like they've been successful in really slowing down the market. So maybe that also prevents more buyers, which compounds the problem.
That's the point. It has been a relentless attack on the housing market, a relentless attack on the first-time buyer, which officially we're supposed to be always in the news releases. We're supposed to believe that it's supporting them. It doesn't. It hurts them. And the results have been dramatic. Now, the other thing is that we have to take a look at is that the backing off, as you pointed, I'm coming into the market, I'm quite confident, but now I'm thinking, maybe I should just wait. And that's what we've seen in sales right across the board. That's why we have so many fewer sales that now maybe in Victoria or Kelowna, for that matter, Whistler is starting to think, maybe they're going to bring it here. And if I was a realtor, I certainly would want to have quick closings in Victoria.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there you go. Oh, Mr. Cheerful. You're getting like me nowadays. Ozzie, I want to get to the hot property while we still have time here.
Sure. We have a Chilliwack, a legal fourplex. It's fully tenanted. It's professionally managed. It's on a nice 8,000 square foot lot. It brings about $46,200 per annum. The building is 3,700 square feet, and it's on at $699,900.
600. Wow. Okay. There you go. And by the way, you can find any of these Ozzie talks about. He says just stuff that looks interesting to him. Obviously, you have to check it out. You don't put your money down anywhere in real estate, as Ozzie said, without checking it out personally. But you can do that by going to Jurock.com, Jurock.com. Ozzie, once again, thanks for a fabulous job. This is the place to go. If you want the latest in what's going on in the real estate market, in this case, we're talking the latest numbers in the foreign buyers tax, but we monitor what's going on throughout North America with Ozzie Jurock. Ozzie, thanks for taking the time. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me, and you have a great weekend too.